Hey guys, how's it going? This is David again with an update to my previous video on how to make Windows 8 faster. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Windows 8.1 a little bit faster. It's going to be pretty similar to my last video, but there'll be some little new tips here and there. As you can see, this is the new Windows 8. It's got the nice start menu back. It's, people make a big deal about it, but not really that different. So we're going to get right to it. The first thing I want you guys to do is to open up your task manager, so that you can do that right by clicking the little status bar down there. Click task manager, and you're going to start off in processes, or maybe you'll have a little little square box like this once you click more details, and then go right into the startup tab. And here you're going to see a whole list of different applications. Your list is going to be different from mine, and you're going to see their name, you're going to see their status, and then you're going to see their startup impact. So a lot of the things, when your computer first logs on, it's going to be starting up all sorts of these applications, right? But what it does is that it slows down your startup time, so it takes a long time for you to go from boot to when you can actually start doing things. So what I want you guys to do is to go down this list, see what you really need, right? Like, for example, I don't really need a Google toolbar notifier, so I'm going to have that disabled, or I may not want this QuickTime task to run when I first start up, so I'll disable it. This doesn't disable you being able to use the application. It only disables when it starts up. So if you don't want it to start up and maybe you want to use it later on, you can disable it here. It's totally fine. And what this does is it'll really save you a lot of time during the whole boot process. So after you get through that, it's really easy to disable. Just right click it and click enable or disable. I want you guys to go on through the tabs, go to the services tab of the task manager, and from here I want you guys to click open services. It's down here at the bottom, and that's going to bring you to this menu, and this is going to show you all the services that your computer runs. So services take up a lot of your system's performance, both in its startup and then its RAM usage and its CPU usage later on while you're using your system. And some of these services you definitely do need, but a lot of them aren't really that necessary, and they start up when your computer starts up, and they're just taking up space there, and it's not really useful. So I have a quick little list right here of these services that are totally safe to set to manual. Most people aren't going to have any problems with it, but as always, double check yourself, see if you do need it. And basically what you can do is, for example, application experience. I'll just look for it right over here, application experience, and then I can right click it, go to properties, and then usually it's set to automatic. Just set it right down to manual, and then click OK. So what this basically does is that this service won't start up until you either start it up or an application needs it to start up. And for the most part, application experience processes application compatibility. Most programs, they're not going to use it, right? So this will really save a lot of time. And I'm going to have the full list down in the description bar, so you can do that on your own time. And just go through the list, see if there's anything that you're sure you don't need, but always be sure that you don't need something before you go around disabling it, because you don't want to mess up your system, right? So we're good there. The next thing I want you guys to do is just hit your Windows key and R, or if you don't have Windows key, maybe you're using like a netbook or whatever, just right click your start menu and hit run. And then I want you to type in sysdm.cpl. So sysdm.cpl. And I want you to hit OK or enter. And this is going to bring you to your system properties tab. I want you guys to go over to advanced, and then under performance, go to settings. Now, this box is for the list of visual effects that your Windows has on your computer. So this includes things, feeding in and out your windows, or this little peek feature over here. All that, it's kind of eye candy, and you don't really need it. And if you have a slow system, you're going to want to disable some of these, because they take a lot of your system resources. So over here, I have a list of things that you should maybe want to consider disabling, right? So just set it to like animate controls, you can disable that, or Windows when minimizing and maximizing, all of these things. Again, I'll have this in the description bar below. So after you're done, maybe disabling whatever, and then just go ahead, hit apply, and then okay. And most of it looks the same. It's just some of the the nice animations may be gone. But again, if you have a slow system, you're gonna prioritize your performance over some of the nice things to see, right? So go ahead, disable what you don't need, and then hit OK. Alright, so after that, we're just gonna go ahead and I want you guys to open up a Windows Explorer. So for example, just hit this PC, and once you're in Windows Explorer, I want you guys to go to this tab up here, go to View, and then go to Options. And then in Options, I want you to go to View again, and then over here in Advanced Settings, there are some of these settings that really, they just take up time when you're trying to open some documents, and they aren't really that useful. So I have a list of them right here that are totally safe to uncheck. So these may include disable file size information in folder tips, hide empty drives in the computer folder, hide extensions for known file types, etc. So maybe just go through these and disable them, because to be honest, you don't really need them, and they do take up time when you're trying to open up your Explorer. So I'm gonna have the list in the description bar. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but just go through it one by one and just disable what you don't need. Lastly, I have a little special tip. It's something that I actually didn't know for a long time, but until I noticed recently. Over here, down here in your status bar, when you see your battery icon, I want you guys to left click it and then see what your power plan is. So go to more power options. Over here, there are different plans for how your computer balances your your CPU versus your screen time, versus basically how it runs your system. And for a lot of people, when it's set on power saver, your computer won't use a lot of it won't try to efficiently use your system's resources when it's on power saver. On balanced, it's pretty good, but for those of you who want the best performance that your computer can do, go down to high performance and check the high performance plan, because this is when your computer is going to be using your CPU to its maximum. It's going to be using everything that your computer has to offer to run your system, and that's how you're going to get the best performance from your computer. So that's about it. I hope you guys learned something from this. Again, I'm going to have everything down in the description bar. Please check out my last video if you didn't see it. It's got some other tips. And I hope you guys learned something. And I hope you guys will like and subscribe and tune in for next time. Thanks.